I'm Ryan Smith and welcome to the channel. Are you thinking about buying an Oura Ring Generation 3? It's this little thing right here. It's a wearable piece of tech that tracks everything in you, from your heart rate, to your activity levels, to your readiness score, to your sleep scores. Everything you need to know more about you. Maybe you've seen it worn by stars like Kim Kardashian or Gwyneth Paltrow, but those folks are sponsored. I'm not. I've been wearing this thing for 500 days, and I'm gonna tell you how it works, what it really does, whether you should buy it, and before you do, one thing you gotta know about, and it may not make you happy. So what's an Oura Ring? It's this, essentially. A ring no bigger than a wedding band. You can put it on any finger you want, and essentially, it tells you more about yourself. Now, embedded in this ring is a bunch of fancy technology, buttons and wires and all these kinds of things nobody understands. But what they do is they tell you about your heart rate, how you're sleeping, how many calories you're burning, everything you need to know more about how your body is functioning. Now, you don't just pop over to Best Buy and buy one of these things. No, you have to go on their website and order what's called a ring sizing kit. They send you this box in the mail, and this box has all these different rings in it. You try on which one fits best for you. They say you should wear it on your index finger. I wear it on my ring finger, and it takes place of a wedding band. So after that, you send it back to the company. A couple days later, bang, you got a ring in the mail. Fit just for you that you put on your finger, and you're good to go. Then you download the Oura app, you connect the ring to the app, and boom, it works. And I gotta tell you, in my experience, it worked right away. No problems, completely up and running within seconds. So what does this thing really tell you? Well, it's all in the app, and the app has a lot. The app's got 5 sections: a home section, a sleep section, readiness, activity, and explore. The home screen right away gives you your calories burned. It's great for somebody like me trying to build muscle and lose fat. So you'll see your up to the moment heart rate, your periods of activity, how your sleep has varied over the past week or period of weeks, your readiness and sleep scores, and a bunch of crap, frankly, that I never read. But all of it is pretty damn interesting. Your sleep page, well, that does a deep dive into your sleep. All the things you don't know about yourself when you're sleeping, this thing tells you. It's got everything from your total sleep to how well you're sleeping, your deep and REM sleep, and even your oxygen and your breathing. The activity screen is perfect for people who like things like Fitbit and all that wearable tech that tells you how many steps you took. This not only tells you the steps you took, but thing I love the most, the calories you burn. I found that in counting my calories, and when I go through it, it works out pretty well. And the Explore section contains a series of recordings to help support all these other sections. How you sleep better, how you are more active, things like that. Now I'm gonna keep it real. First couple of months, I'm like, what the hell is all this stuff? I mean, I got 10,000 metrics on this thing to tell me all about myself, but what the hell does it mean? For me, it just seemed like a bunch of information crap. But here's the thing. This is one of those give it time devices. Once I compared one number to another number, say 1 day's worth of sleep to the next day's worth of sleep to the next day's worth of sleep, and think about how I felt, then I would start to be able to do things about the way and how I sleep and how much I sleep. You need the buildup of the information to give you indications about how you're actually functioning so you can change it and make it better. So to me, here's how this works best. I see the numbers, I see how I feel, and I make adjustments on how I feel. And the readiness score is huge because at first I thought it was just some made up number. Over time, I started seeing that when I was a 60 or a 70 in readiness, it really was worn down. When I was an 80 or 90, I really did have a lot more energy. You get the number and you know what the effect is on you and what to do with it. The example with readiness, when I'm at an 80 or a 90, I know I can put in a tough workout. When I'm at a 60 or a 70, maybe it's time for a day off. So my body is able to function better reacting off of all these numbers that this device produces. That's what I think makes it so valuable. What else do you need to know about Oura Ring? Now, the company tells you that it charges on a full charge for 4 to 7 days. After 500 days, the truth of the matter is, it's only about 4 days, maybe 2 or 3. When the device hits about 20%, you get this indication that you have to recharge it. Helpful, slightly annoying, but helpful. because then you got to charge it. Of course, when you forget and then you go to sleep and you realize it didn't collect your sleep data, you're pretty PO'd. And the big question, is it accurate? What Oura Ring does is they cite a 2020 study where researchers compared the Oura Ring's metrics in measuring heart rate with ECG measurements, and they found them to be highly correlated. So what does all that mean? The Oura Ring records your heart rate with about the same level of accuracy as the gold standard for recording heart rate. So we're all wary of what kind of studies we see on websites supporting a product, but look, take that for what it's worth. I've found it to be pretty accurate. I know what it feels like when my heart rate's around 140, and when I test the Oura Ring to make sure that's backing it up, generally in the right area. For me, good enough. What do I love about the Oura Ring? Well, the dizzying array of metrics really teach me more about myself. If I don't get enough deep sleep or REM sleep, then I know I'm gonna have a rougher day. And it's not one of those things where I'm reading the device and saying, oh, look, I didn't get REM sleep, today's gonna be terrible. I can actually feel it. Over the past 500 days, I feel like the ring has really correlated with my body, and I can really feel the difference between 45 minutes of REM sleep the night before or an hour and a half of REM sleep. I think that's incredible. The readiness score is huge for me. I basically live by it. So if it's 80 or 90, I know I can do a lot that day. When it's 60 or 70, and this is the key, I know I gotta slow down a little bit. And when I used other wearable tech, I didn't get that same type of accuracy in the readiness score in terms of how much energy I would really have and that I could depend on for that day. That's been huge. The other thing I love about this thing is durable. Guys, I work out with it hard. Nothing ever happens to it. I go in the shower, I'm in the pool. I basically never take this thing off, and it has never broken in 500 days. There's never been a problem hooking up with the app. It's never really gotten nicked up. Anybody who looks at it thinks it's a wedding ring. And that, I think, is the coolest thing of all. The biggest problem I had with Apple Watch and Fitbit and all those things is I didn't always want to wear it. So when I took it off, there go the calculations. And that's a huge problem. I don't want to have to wear something 24 hours a day. That's a challenge for me to have on 24 hours a day. This thing is the easiest piece of wearable tech I have ever seen. And after 500 days, it's just been easy to keep it on, and it is durable as all get up. Bottom line, this thing gives me everything I need to know about myself in the least annoying way. And I gotta tell you, it's helped me get into better shape because I optimize my workouts based on how rested I am. It helps me rest when I need to rest. All these things have made me healthier and happier. Now, what don't I like about the Oura Ring? The website says it automatically tracks things like your workouts and all these different activities. In fact, it says it can automatically detect 30 different activities. Well, in my experience, not quite. Whenever I work out, it doesn't automatically track it. And half the time I gotta go in, no, let's change that. About 90% of the time when I go in and have a hard workout for an hour, hour and a half, it doesn't even pick it up. So I have to enter it manually. Now, is it a big deal to enter it manually? No, it takes like 2 seconds. But when the website says it automatically tracks it, it did for the first 50 or 60 days. It automatically tracked the workouts. But in the last 450, not so much. The device tracks a lot of things much later, even if you're updating it. So let's say you take a nap. You update the device, there's no nap. You're like, okay, where's the nap? I just took a 40-minute nap. 6 hours later, it might pick up that nap. We're all used to seeing that wearable tech pick up things like that. While it doesn't pick up my hour, hour and a half tough workout where I'm punching the weights, it does pick up the 17-minute walk I took or the 15-minute shower I took. That to me says there's something with the tech that isn't quite working out. Other thing I don't like about this, the manual recording of your heart rate. They said, we're gonna be able to record your heart rate whenever you want. You gotta go in and manually say, record my heart rate now on the app, and then it records it, and then you gotta say stop. What's the problem with that? I forget to say stop all the time. When I'm done with the workout, I'm going home. I'm not thinking about the apps and devices. So should you buy the Oura Ring Generation 3? I say yes. It's 350 or so bucks or more, and that's a pretty penny, I get it. This ring, over 500 days, has taught me more about myself than I ever knew with any other device. It helps me react to the things that are going on in my body better than anything I've ever seen. And that has been huge. So with this ring, since I've had this ring, I have felt myself feeling better, sleeping better, and knowing so much more about myself. And that has been worth far more than the $350 I paid for it. But there's a catch, isn't there always? Oura came out and said, guess what? Good news. We are gonna have a membership process where you pay $5.99 a month, and for that, you can get all these metrics you've gotten. Well, that doesn't sound good because I was already getting the metrics. Well, what happens if I don't pay the $5.99? Well, no worries. You still get your sleep score, your readiness score, your activity score. It's all good. But the metrics, you click on that page and it's blank. That, my friends, is what we call a bait and switch for this device. Because the bait is, buy this and get these metrics. The switch is, oh, in order to really get everything you need to make it work, you gotta pay us per month. Now, that's a problem. It's a problem because without the metrics, like the different details on how you sleep, the different details on how your activity is going or your readiness score, the actual bare numbers mean nothing. You gotta know the details behind them in order to change the behavior. So it basically forces you into the $5.99 a month membership. Let me be clear. This ring is useless without the additional metrics. It's useless without paying the subscription fee. So you are going to be paying that fee. I don't like it. That being said, I would still buy it, and I don't regret having it for the last 500 days. $5.99 is about the same as what I pay for coffee once at Starbucks. And for that, the metrics have in many ways changed my life. Is it fair? No. Do I like it? No. Do I need it, want it, and has it made my life better? Yes, it's been worth it. If you can get over this like I could, then I say buy this and enjoy getting to know the real you better. Well, thanks for watching. I'd love if you would subscribe to the TruthFit channel by clicking the button below. And if you want to see more videos like this, just click right there. Right there. There's some. Anything under the sun that has to do with fitness or health that you want to try before you buy, go ahead and leave me a comment below. Ask me to try it. I'll do it for you. Thanks so much. TruthFit signing off.